On one hand, I wish reality had more VTuber expressions. But on the other, I don't know. I kind of like how this character model never frowns. She's just always in this kind of like sedated, airy state that I strive to be in. I don't know. I'm really like depressed and drunk and high and I want to play this game. That's what I know. Only those with the might of the gods can open this door. Well then. It's locked. Learn of emptiness of the blank, and a new path will open for you. I like how they spelled emptiness with a Y. I actually prefer that. It won't budge. Nothing to say about the bell. What is this? A Vajra? I'm gonna be honest, I don't know how to pronounce that. I want to find out.
Vajra.
Vajra? Okay, I had that right. More or less. Vajra is added to your inventory. I don't usually read system messages like that in games, but I wanted to say Vajra again. I've already been here. What the? Hindu ritual tool made entirely of gold. This must be what they meant by the might of the gods. It was the other one. Hell Hall. The Hall of Hell. Oh, is that a girl? What's she doing here? It's Koishi! The first time I played this, I didn't really, know any of the Toho characters yet. But now I've just watched hours upon hours of lore videos and like scoured the wiki, and I've watched the anime, read a couple of the manga. I have a Ceiling Club tarot deck that has Maribel, Renko, and fucking Sumireko. I need a key to open this door. Uselessly doing the same thing until you turn to stone. Is that the life of virtue you want for yourself? Damn, that's harsh. Opposing forces can combine to create balance. Dark and bright, shadow and light, yin and yang. Third root of evil. hatred and destructive urges. I keep slurring. That's probably going to mess up the voice mod. Second root of evil, ignorance or delusion. First root of evil, greed or desire. The first three sights the Buddha saw on his first journey outside his palace: old age, sickness, and death. The root of all suffering is attachment. They put those capital letters there. Praying to the sun every day for the night never to arrive. So we had a couple with some unnaturally capital letters. So we have YA, SUN, and TA, YA, SUN, and TA. So it's gotta be sun. And then either Ya or Ta at the end. So let's try Ya. Ta. Okay. Sun Ta. Yeah. Ante. No. Try spelling out the whole thing. Hey! Let's see what's inside. Blood, apparently. And nothing to say about it. We're just gonna ignore that that's there. I found a key. Nothing to say about the bloody mask either. There's clearly something going on. But we have nothing to say about it. It won't budge. Okay. I have the key. So let's go talk to Koishi. Oh, I like that door unlocking sound. That was satisfying. It's very well chosen. God, I have fucking dry mouth like a fucking bitch. Hello. My name is Mary. What's your name? Oh my god, Koishi looks fucking terrifying. What the fuck? Oh man. Mary? That's your name? You're lying. Ah, yes, you're right. But how do you know that? My real name is very difficult to pronounce, so my friends call me Mary. You shouldn't call yourself by a name that's not yours. Aren't you afraid of forgetting who you are? Who would you be if that happens? Well, I'm always myself. It doesn't matter what others call me. Huh, is that so? If you aren't afraid of being forgotten, tell me then, what are you afraid of? Are you not afraid of dying? Are you not afraid of this place? After asking that, the room is filled with oppressive silence. It is clear that she isn't a normal girl. I don't understand what's wrong with her. I take a breath, preparing to speak, but I just don't have an answer. I let time go by uselessly until I'm convinced that it is better to say something, anything, rather than make her wait. I'm worried what would happen if I make her angry. Yes, this place scares me. It's very dark and creepy here. I wish I could go home. I reply shyly while looking into her eyes, her green eyes. She is silent for a few seconds, without the slightest reaction, as if she didn't hear me. Then suddenly she looks up, straight into my eyes. Her lips pull into a creepy smile. You're lying. You don't want to go back. You hate it there. You lie. But your heart doesn't lie. Her voice, her smile, make me nervous. I take a step back instantly. I'm scared. I clasp a hand in my chest, feeling the anxiety grow inside. I try to speak, but only manage to make unintelligible sounds. Something is wrong with me. Suddenly, my eyes go wide, my face turns pale, and cold sweat beads on my skin. I bend over, hugging my belly in pain. But this is a unique type of pain, one that I hate beyond anything else. This nausea, the coldness, the lack of air, and worst of all, the feeling of having your chest crushed by an invisible hand. I know them all. Don't vomit. I don't want to vomit. I hate it. Honestly, it's times like this I wish I wasn't using a voice changer because I said that with so much emotion because I also hate vomiting. It is my least favorite thing in the world. I come unhinged like a werewolf when I vomit every time. It hurts so much. I tell myself endless times inside my head, with my gaze fixed on the ground, forgetting completely about the girl. I can't even think. My mind is failing. The anguish that fills my brain overwhelms it without leaving room for anything else. Every beat of my heart shatters. My heart hurts immensely. I groan in pain as I desperately bury my nails into my arm. Then I suddenly sink to my knees. Or rather, I fall in that position when my legs lose the strength to support my body. It taxes me just to breathe. My vision is blurry. I can't see past my nose. But despite that, I know that the girl is still there, smiling, while looking at me, immobile, without saying a word. She's enjoying it. I'm sure of it. This pain, this unbearable pain that destroys me from within, has been my companion for a long time. More than an enemy or a friend, it has been my partner. The weight of anxiety crushes and twists me mercilessly. I gasp and use the last of my strength to lift my head and look at the girl. Or rather, where I think she is. But there is nothing I can say or do. It's a hopeless action. You're not honest. And when you lie to your heart suffers. It's the only thing she says before everything turns dark. However, that's my fault. My eyes close when I lose the strength to hold them open. Then I collapse motionless on the ground, drowning in a sea of suffering and hugging my knees, lying on my side. I stay in that pitiful position for countless endless seconds, until I realize I don't feel pain anymore. It's as if all my organs have been crushed until they can no longer function. In silence, I feel a couple of tears run down my cheeks. It's the last thing I know. Soon, every feeling abandons me, as if the world itself has disappeared. I want to disappear too. I hate anxiety. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. It's my internal tormentor. But anxiety isn't born of nothing. It comes from our fears and despair. What am I afraid of? I think I know. I know the answer, but I'm afraid to admit it. I am afraid to accept it. My mind circles that thought as my body is being eaten. I can't see it or even feel it, but I'm sure of it. I'm perfectly aware of how the teeth dig into my flesh. I cannot escape, much less defend myself, because of course, I'm dead. Tonight, I died again. But I'm not frustrated or scared about it. On the contrary, I am glad. Because now, I don't have to feel anxiety anymore. My destroyed body is unable to feel it. I feel perfectly calm, as if some magical medicine is circulating through my veins. My body is at ease, and soon enough, all of the pain and anger from earlier drift away. Somehow, being killed, instead of hurting me, heals me. The only thing that saddens me is, how will I tell Renko tomorrow? My phone's alarm wakes me up as usual. The first thing I do is rub my face and reach for my phone to turn it back off. I'm in my apartment. Everything seems so normal until memories of the dream flash through my mind. I stare at the nothingness for long seconds, between pensive and too tired to move. It's the third time this has happened. I say, talking to myself. I don't mean that it's the third night in a row that I dreamed, but that it's the third time I've been killed. I feel somewhat puzzled. This time, it wasn't like the others. The pain I felt was devastating, like feeling your very soul crumbling inside of you. Much more painful than being stabbed or eaten. All living beings are terrified of dying and dream of cheating death. But it's different for me. After I die, I feel so relaxed. All the pain and fear goes away. They are replaced by a silent, unmoving tranquility. To tell the truth, I don't even care that much about death. My body and my soul give it no more importance than a simple nightmare, a bad dream. Although I know it is much more than that. Anyway, I sigh and finally get out of bed. If I keep thinking about it, I'll be late for class. The rest of the day passes as usual. I keep thinking about the dream during class and how I'll tell Renko about it. And before I know it, it's time to go to the club. Welcome, Vice President. Renko greets me when I open the door. She is already sitting at the table, drinking a fresh cup of tea for the day's meeting. It's so unusual for her to be early. Hi, Renko, I say, shyly smiling. I take a seat on the other end of the table and pour myself a cup of tea. Steam billows out, filling the air with a delicious smell. I blow to cool it before taking a sip, closing my eyes and holding the cup with both hands, elegantly. Then I take a deep breath and open my eyes. I take a moment to look at Renko's carefree face before I say anything. Renko, I had another dream. Again? That's 3 times in a row. Are you trying to set a new record? Well, where did you go this time, Mary? It was a Buddhist temple, but it looked very old and abandoned. In fact, of the 3 dreams so far, this was the gloomiest. It had many mysterious messages, and even a graveyard. Renko falls silent, looking at me with eyes that say she can't wait to hear more. I can't help but smile. I tell her about my dream, the snowy cemetery, the stone statues, the broken masks, and finally, the stage girl. That part of the song just came in at the perfect time. I brought something again, too. I dig through my bag until I find the Avadra, a Hindu ritual tool, in the shape of 2 bells joined by a handle, made entirely of gold. The name means both lightning and diamond, symbolizing power and eternity. It's something even more difficult to obtain than the silver knife. The fact that it's made of gold would make it impossible to buy. I put the Vajra on the table and notice how Renko looks at it without really understanding what it is. She examines it with her eyes alone first, then takes it in one hand, holding it at different angles while craning her head around to see every detail of the artifact. It's almost funny how extensively she studies it, as if it was a piece of alien technology. It's something monks use during ceremonies, isn't it? Yes, and it's also a weapon used by the gods in ancient myths. Then suddenly, I hear a metallic sound. The Vajra slipped from her fingers and fell to the ground. Renko immediately freezes, blushing in embarrassment. She snatches it up and returns it to the table, pretending nothing happened. All I do is keep smiling, but now my smile shows disgust. Don't break it. It's expensive, I said, pretending to be angry. Renko immediately looks away, adjusts her hat in a shy gesture. Of course not. It's valuable, a valuable addition to the club. Anyway, Mary, do you think that girl was a yokai? Yes, I have no doubt about it. But I can't tell what exactly. She kept saying that my heart doesn't lie. She seems to have some sort of mind-reading powers. My best guess is that she was a Satori, but could be a unique species too. I guess. I would love to ask her some questions, but it seems like she doesn't let you lead the conversation. She would probably tell you your heart is as cold and dark as space. What do you mean? My heart is healthy and warm. I'm at the prime of my life, after all, she says, pretending to be excited. I don't answer her, but instead quietly rise my cup and sip some tea. A calm silence fills the room, but I know it isn't going to last. Mary, are you okay? I mean, you died again, didn't you? I intentionally omitted that part. I told Renko that I woke up right after talking with the girl, but it seems that I'm not a good liar. Or perhaps I simply can't fool her. I'm fine, Renko. I've told you before, it's just a bad dream. Even if I die, it has no effect on my body or mind. You don't need to worry. My words sound so uncaring, but deep down, I do feel guilty about it. You might not have any injuries, but dying that many times can't be a good thing. Why do you worry so much? Suddenly, there is an awkward silence. Renko crosses her arms, looking over me for long seconds with a serious expression. She seems resolved. I instead look away, avoiding her gaze and saying nothing. I know I'm being rude, but I really don't want her to worry. I don't want to be a bother. Mary, I just want to make sure you're okay. I don't want you to push yourself too hard. I know you like having adventures as much as I do, listening to them, but you should also rest. I can't control when I have dreams. You know that. I do, but you can control what you do outside of your dreams. When you told me you died, you acted like it was nothing important. You talk as if you've gotten used to it. Your dreams are journeys to other dimensions. When you die in your dream, does that mean the Mary of that world died too? And what if one day you confuse this world with a dream? I don't know. Everything seems so clear to me. Dreams and reality, to me, are so clear. I can't really explain it. I know. I can't even pretend to understand the logic and structure of what you call dreams. That's why I have a proposal. Something quite simple, actually. I'd like you to spend the night at my apartment today. That way, if you have another dream, I could come with you and make sure you don't get hurt. Without thinking, I lift my head and look up at her eyes in disbelief. Rinko is serious. However, soon a playful yet shy smile draws on my face. Thanks, but you weren't very useful that time in Torafune. I know, but I promise I'll be more careful this time. I'm blushing. It won't be our first time sleeping together. In fact, every time we travel for club activities, we sleep in the same room. But I've never slept in her apartment before. I also suspect that Rinko doesn't really know how embarrassing this all sounds to me. I can't let a Tsukima Onna or nightmares harm the vice president. As president of the club, it's my duty to do something about it. Even if you think it's unnecessary, just do it to humor me. And we could also watch movies and order a pizza. It would be like a sleepover. Or even better, a club activity. A shy smile tugs at my lips after hearing that. Just this. My heart beats faster, fueled by the same strange combination of shame and excitement. All my worries from earlier have vanished. I know Rinko only does it because she cares about me. She is a good friend. Okay, but I get to choose the pizza and the movie we'll see. Perfect. The negotiations were a success. Now, I just have to find a way to sell the Vajra on the internet. That will not happen. Rinko laughs at my reaction, then leans over to tenderly stroke my hair. I blush and hide behind my smile. Behind a hand. The rest of the session happens as usual. We talk about some rumors Rinko has heard about a haunted abandoned factory. Most likely a lie, and other unimportant topics, until it's finally time to leave. We leave the Vajra in the club and walk to the train station. After we board, we sit together. Rinko takes my hand. She doesn't even ask for permission. She knows I'm not going to reject her. I intertwine our fingers, feeling our closeness grow with such a simple gesture. Then I close my eyes and lean against her, resting my body next to hers. Mary, don't fall asleep on the way. Just wake me up if I do. Should I wake up the princess with a kiss? Sure, that works. It's my simple reply, said with pure honesty, without even opening my eyes. I can't see it, but I'm sure that Rinko blushes in response. I know because she goes quiet. Knowing that fills me with pride. The rest of the trip happens in silence. Minutes pass, fast and comfortably, feeling so brief, until I hear Rinko call me. Mary, we're here. It's time to get off. I open my eyes, and the first thing I see is Rinko's face as she bends down to gently take my hand. It makes my heart swell with joy. It's something so ordinary, but that doesn't mean it can't be valuable. We talk about a few silly topics while walking together, simply because it doesn't feel right to be silent with a friend next to you. Rinko's apartment is outside the city center, in a building that is only 2 stories tall, unlike where I live. Once inside, the first thing I do is sit on the sofa. Rinko sits at my side. Well, Mary, what would you like to see? How about a bad science fiction movie? I mean, a very bad one. I like to hear you grumble about all the flaws. Huh? Do you want to see me complain every time I see something stupid? Are you sure that's fun? Of course. I love how seriously you take it. You seem to forget the fiction part in science fiction. Every time. I just dislike how dumb and impossible everything looks. It's hard for me to follow the hero's plans if I already know they don't work. But, well, just don't regret it later. After that, Ringo picks up an old black and white movie, the kind where spacesuits are 80% aluminum foil, and with a user rating of just 1 star. Anyone who sees us might guess it, but we are both old-fashioned. The past, as opposed to the present, seems like a fascinating thing. Perhaps because the filter of time removes many of the bad things. Or simply because it is far away. As we watch the movie, Franco orders a pizza with cheese, bread, and soda from her cell phone. She knows what ingredients I like, so I don't have to say anything. That is the beginning of our night together. Just as I supposed, more than watching the movie, we spend the time making fun of it between bites of pizza. Renko, in particular, is unable to shut up whenever she notices something wrong. She isn't very good at suspending her disbelief. However, I must confess, the movie is pretty bad, filled with logic errors, silly characters, a lazy plot, and terrible effects. Basically, it's a cocktail of failure that doesn't stop giving us material for complaints, ridicule, and laughter. I can't imagine a better way to spend the night. When the movie ends, we decide to see another one, but this time a good one, about ghosts. I frequently ask Rinko to pause the movie and to share my theories about what is happening. Far from being upset, she seems to enjoy the discussion. In the end, our guesses are wrong, but it's fun nonetheless. And before I know it, it's time to sleep. We lie down and get comfortable, slipping under the sheets. I still remember the first time we slept in the same room. It was during a club trip. I felt nervous when Renko proposed the idea, but I quickly got used to it. It's no different from sleeping with a family member. A few seconds pass in silence, with the lights off until Renko unexpectedly speaks. By the way, Mary, I remember once you hugged me in your sleep. What were you dreaming that time? I don't know. I guess I was cold. You didn't do anything to stop me. Well, I didn't want to wake you up. I see. If you have another dream, even if it's a cold one, I would like to accompany you. Don't forget about me and go have an adventure on your own. After hearing that, I turn toward her. I can't see her, but I can feel her presence. Rinko was right. I needed tonight the company, the laughter, the warmness. Now my soul feels lighter. The stress from the nightmares has completely disappeared. Yes, I can't leave the president out of the club's most special activity. I say kindly before going quiet. We don't speak another word. And sooner than I expected, I fall asleep. I need a break before this one. have coffee with rum in it. I also have a voltage. Because voltage was the original gamer fuel. Uh, this ticking is going to drive me insane. I would love to add like a little vape and smoke effect to my VTuber. That would be pretty cool. Did I mention I'm also high? Anyway. What's your name? Her. Maribel. I force myself to answer. My voice is weak. I can't raise my eyes from staring down at where my hands rest, clasped anxiously in my lap. The man doesn't even try to say my name. He doesn't show any concern for me, simply continues with the next question, ignoring the state I'm in. He ignores my sweat, my shaking legs, my fingers clenched against my skirt, and my scared purple eyes, unable to meet his gaze. Even being face to face, the distance between the two of us is immense. There is an impenetrable barrier that separates us. The barrier between normal and abnormal, healthy and sick. Do you know why you're here? Because I'm suffering from an unknown infection. A few days before, Ranko and I visited Torafune, a garden outside of this world. I opened a gate, and we both crossed it, entering a dreamland while still awake. However, something went wrong. I was ambushed by an unknown beast, a chimera that has no name in our world. Because of this, I became ill with an unknown infection. Renko worriedly took me to the hospital, but the doctors had more ideas for me. The disease I have is not only in my body, or so they tell me. That is not the reason. An infection like this has never appeared in the medical data, and your story simply can't be possible. So, we believe there must be something else wrong with you. No. Taking everything into consideration, we've arrived to the conclusion that you are suffering from hallucinations. Your fever was psychosomatic. In other words, your body was reacting to the imaginary sickness in your mind. That's why you presented such unique symptoms from a common infection. His voice is cruel. It's poisonous. I don't want to hear it anymore. Without thinking, I cover my ears with both hands. But it doesn't help. As if he's speaking from inside my head, his voice echoes in my mind. How long have you been suffering from delirium? That question freezes my heart. I hold my breath, while an invisible hand crushes my chest. Without realizing it, I bite my lips to the point that they bleed. I know what he's thinking. I know what he's going to say. I even know what's going to happen. But even knowing all that, there is nothing I can do to stop it. All I can do is prolong the silence that separates me from his answer by a tiny moment. We want you to stay here for observation for a few months. During the first month, you will be prohibited from having visitors or contact with the outside. However, if you show signs of improvement, it may be authorized. I know it may sound harsh, but believe me, we are only doing what's best for your health. Do you agree to these terms? Yes. I answer submissively, hating myself for doing so. My eyes look at the floor, completely empty. It feels like staring into an endless world with no escape. I want to do the opposite, to reject it, to run away. But I know I can't. The chains of society bind me. If I refuse, they'll force me to stay for an even longer time. Maybe even forever. You don't have to be afraid. We will help you become normal, he finally says, and shortly after stands up and leaves the room, abandoning me in silence. As if I wanted that. If I sacrifice everything, that makes me who I am. Everything you call abnormal. Then wouldn't it be the same as dying? My body would still be alive, but the person, Maribel Hearn, would be dead. I would never be the same. It would be a new person, wearing my face and using my voice. But my personality, my identity, would be lost. I don't want to disappear. Is that really such a big crime? I don't want to be normal. I want to be myself. I don't know what I want. But I know it's not inside this room. That was heavy. I'm going to take another short break. And while I do so, I'm going to tell you why I'm doing that. I relate a lot to Maribel Hearn. In every depiction I've seen or read or played, but this one cuts deep. I also tried to explain. They also told me I'm crazy. They also put me in one of these hospitals for 4 years. Where I lost my mind. And not in the cute way or the scary way that you see in media. What I mean is, I can't think like I used to. I can't function like I used to. I'm like an empty doll. A soulless body. And I think people can feel it I think they know. And that's why they treat me the way they do. And that's why I'll never accomplish anything. And that's why I'm here, doing this. There is someone waiting for you in the garden, Miss Hearn. A beautiful woman with long hair. She has patiently waited for a long time now. Yes. Thank you. But first, you should talk with the doctor. He is at his office. Room 103. I'm almost positive that, like, none of these doors are going to open. But I'm going to try them anyway. The lab. Oh. Ah. Okay. I need to check this side. It's probably a waste of time. Oh. We're avoiding people. I like that it's, that the path is blocked. This feels like a place where we're being able to hide from them should be a thing. Like, maybe you could, like, go into one of these rooms or whatever and hide from them. It would be, like, kind of a risk, like, going out the door. You'd have to, like, remember their walking patterns and come out the door and try to avoid them. So, like, there could be, like, maybe, like, one room on 2 of the halls that let you hide, but then, like, on the last one, there's no room, and so, like, you have to be, really quick. That could be, pretty heart-pounding, I think. Now we can actually see them. I found a note. The first hand moves carefully, taking 12 steps twice every day. One day, at the third step, it suddenly stopped feeling nostalgic. A second hand moves faster, taking 60 steps every hour. After a quarter, it took 3 more steps before looking back at its friend. So, let's see. This would be 3. After a quarter, it took 3 more steps. So a quarter would be 3. And then 3 more steps would be 18. So 318? Yeah. Ah. March 18th. That's the day I arrived in Japan. Oh. Well, 4 days from your anniversary, Maribel. I think I heard a door opening. Probably the locked one, I would say. No power. Oh, that must be an elevator. Or something. Okay. There's a lot more rooms on this floor. And none of them open. Okay, so let's go down to the first floor. Which one is down? This one? Yeah. They said it would be 103. We're gonna go to that one last. I like being thorough. He's not even here. Here is the key. And there is something else. A note. The patient was admitted to the Central Hospital in Kyoto due to an unknown infection. She had a wound on her arm that she claimed was caused by a wild animal. The patient suffers from anxiety. She often has attacks that lower her blood pressure and produce nausea. She also suffers from delirium, frequently has fever, sleepwalks, and talks about seeing other worlds in her dreams. So far, neurological studies have been inconclusive. Her brain electrical activity is quite unusual, and observings of her REM sleep have given inconsistent results. A lobotomy is highly recommended, severing part of the left lobe of the brain to reduce the amount of delusions, along with a high dose, 100 milligrams, of Onerolina? Okay. Daily to wipe her mind of the hallucinations. She doesn't need that many thoughts anyway. That is dark for a doctor's note. Finally, an operation to remove the eyeballs and thus prevent her from being able to see those gaps that she secretly talks about when alone. If the symptoms persist, it will be necessary to use electroshock therapy to disable unnecessary parts of her brain. Health requires sacrifices. Soon, we will make it possible for her to be a normal person, whatever the cost. This is barbaric. And this is supposed to be, like, the future. The near future, but the future. Like, this is wild. And it opens up questions like, is this a long time ago? Like, Like, did Maribel not only come from a different country, but also maybe a different time? Because of her ability to travel. It's an interesting thought. One I'll leave us with. Okay, so we finally enter here now. Yeah, I have it. Hello. Silver garden key. Ooh, cherry blossoms. I love it. Oh, there is someone there. That looks like a sprite for this, Tsukina Onna? Was that what it was called? Oh boy. Yep. It's that woman. The Tsukima Onna. Why is she inside my dream? Is she the one waiting for me? You finally arrived, Maribel, she says, speaking with a great elegance. Her voice sounds heavenly, and even beautiful, very unlike the first time we met. The rest of her body, however, is still as creepy as always. What do you want with me? I apologize for scaring you, but you must know, you are very precious to me. I don't intend to harm you. I'm only here to guide you, my queen. Queen? I'm nothing like that. My father is a writer, and my mother, a simple housewife. There is nothing royal in my blood. Oh, but you are. I'm not talking about royalty as humans know it, such a meaningless thing. But rather, I mean that your destiny is unique. You are an impossible miracle, a magician who was born in this age when fantasy and magic have been all but extinguished. Before you, they were only the product of imagination, phantoms of what they were before. But you are unique. A magician more powerful than even those ancient myths. No, that must be a mistake. I only have dreams, I say shyly, feeling my heart harden to stone. It sounds so gigantic, a task beyond anything I could have ever dreamed of, as if I suddenly had become the princess of some forgotten fairy tale. They are more than simple dreams. When you sleep, you visit other worlds, the places to which fantasy retreated after humanity rejected it. Worlds full of mysteries and wonders beyond what ordinary dreams can encompass. You even have brought objects from those worlds into yours. You can freely travel from magic to science, from dreams to the cold, uncaring reality, from forgotten to real. I gasp in shock. Something moves inside of me when I listen to her. I feel my own soul break into tiny pieces as I look directly into her eyes, reflecting on them. She doesn't take her eyes off me for a second. She loves me. She adores me. On a level that is unhealthy. No word can describe it except obsession. Humans yearn to live in comfort, without fear, frustration, pain, or risk in their lives. They've built societies and their lifestyles with that in mind. But always taking the safe path also has its consequences. Everything is known. Everything is repeated. Everything becomes easier, day after day. That world, lacking in mystery, in surprises, in the unknown, has driven fantasy away. With it, happiness too has been forgotten. You know better than anyone. There is nothing to marvel at in that place. There is nothing that inspires wonder, or any mystery that arouses interests and passion. Everything is too comfortable. So much so that one never gets to experience anything else. It's boring and lonely. But most of all, it's depressing. It extinguishes the will to live. What's the point if there is no joy? Humanity is stuck in complacency, forgetting the adventures, dreams, adversity, and wonders that once filled the world and are now just myths. They have forgotten the true joy of living. In order to do it comfortably, they sacrificed their own dreams, the most valuable thing they have. Those last words resonate within me, etching themselves on my mind. My heart suddenly jumps. I feel that way. I have thought about it many times. So many that it would not be worth counting them. When everything is easy, we also lose something. Maribel, you've seen it, haven't you? How the world rejects you? Your family got mad when you told them about your dreams. Your friends thought it was strange. The doctors said you were sick. So great was the rejection that you became ill with anxiety, scared that one day everyone would turn against you. I react by widening my eyes, stunned, terrified even. My lips move without making a sound. I have no voice. I just stare at the smiling, slim woman without being able to tell her a thing. Even your friend. You are afraid she is going to reject you if she learns who you truly are. You are afraid to be too much of a burden to her, to make her angry and dislike you. Franco can live on without you. But what will you do without her? I'm cold. I shake my head. Unable to accept it. I can feel warm tears welling up in my eyes when I think about what she is talking about. The world world you were born in is not for you. If you need more proof of your rejection, just explore this place. A world of suffering, born of your memories. No, that's not true. When I went to the hospital, everyone was nice to me. Even if they didn't believe me, they weren't mean. It's nothing like this. That is true, but this is how you felt. You have quietly said it many times, how it was the worst time of your life. This world is nothing less than the projection of your imagination. It is your memories given shape. This is how it looks to you. A cold, cruel, and lonely place, far away from any chance of happiness. After listening to her, I looked down in silence, with my mind in chaos. Why am I not running? Why am I doing nothing to escape? I don't know what's wrong with me. I can't move. Somehow, there is something in me that thinks she is absolutely right. Fantasy has died in the world, except for you, Maribel. You can achieve a change. You can create a new dream world where there are always adventures, where the mysteries have no end, and the feeling of wonder is lived in its maximum splendor, says the woman, speaking excitedly, wrapping her arms around me in a loving hug. This image is cursed. I feel this. She caresses me with her cold hands, but my tears are warm. That is the fate that presents itself to you. You will be the queen of a new paradise. I hold my breath. I don't know what to say. I can't even think of something. My heart and soul are shattered, feeling like water trickling through my fingers. I just freeze in the woman's cold embrace. She caresses me with a tenderness that I have never known before in my life, not even from my mother. I am crying, but at the same time, I feel my heart beating fast, not knowing if it is because of fear or because I am excited. Listen to me, Maribel. You will build a paradise where even the gods and legends will want to enter. A majestic place where you will never feel lonely or bored again, and you will be the queen. I close my eyes, losing myself in her embrace. No word reaches my lips. I am overcome by the tenderness in her hands and the promise in her words. I'm just not happy in the world I come from. Then, should I try this new world? Mary? Mary, did you get up? Where are you, Mary? I can't find you. Mary, you are gone, aren't you? And that's the demo. Absolute craziness. That was a roller coaster. This stream will be a little shorter than last night's, but I was able to finish the game without it becoming a trilogy, so there's that. Next time, we'll be streaming Immunity of Sensibility. Another merry adventure with RPG elements. Gonna have some old school turn-based battles. It will be fun. Now let's see how this all worked out. Goodbye, everyone.